Ed normally talks about records, and that's what he's going to do right now to wrap up tonight, because we're going to talk about records and vinyls and that kind of thing. The
vinyl. Hi-fis. The plural of vinyl is vinyl. Can we be very clear about this, please?
I just did that
deliberately. Just
knock yourself out, Ed. What's this week's picks?
Right, album of the week is Smile, A Light for Attracting Attention. You may not have heard of Smile, but you'll almost certainly heard of Tom Yorke. The Radiohead frontman has done a number of solo projects over the years. This is the first one he's done with Jonny Greenwood, who is also from Radiohead. Now, there's statistically going to be at least some Radiohead fans listening to this during the course of the time this podcast is sort of live as the new one. I'm going to say something contentious here. I do quite like Radiohead, but there doesn't appear to be a tolerable margin for most people. You're supposed to worship Radiohead. I personally feel that because they are so determined to not repeat an album's style each time, this becomes a weight that they cannot shift. This exercise here, A Light for Attracting Attention, is free from that constraint, and it is magnificent. This is absolutely brilliant to listen to, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's really, really beautifully put together. I can't remember the name of the drummer. I'm doing him a disservice. He's not the standard Radiohead drummer. There's a far more sort of jazz element to some of the work that's being done here. I have listened to this time and time again. I think it is a genuinely sensational album. The reason it is not the vinyl release of the month is because the vinyl is not available yet. You can order it, but it hasn't turned up. And I couldn't tell you if it is any good from a hole in the ground. So the vinyl release of the month is from the Black Keys. It is called Dropout Boogie. I'm just going to stick it in front very quickly so people watching. The reason why this is the vinyl release of the month, one, it's a cracking album. Really, really good. But it is mastered by one of the people who is in the Black Keys. Dan Auerbach has set up his own record label called Eagle Eye Sound, and they take mastering and editing really, really seriously. Now, when you cinema types talk about film grain and things like that, the way that this is recorded, it's not a perfect recording because this music should not be perfectly recorded. It is, it's a clean-ish recording, and it's really very good quality, but it just has enough grubbiness, enough muckiness to sound as it should. And there's some really good tracks on it. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. Both the Smile and the Black Keys albums are obviously available on all major streaming services and on CD. But if you are looking to buy a record this week, it would be that one for me. It's absolutely brilliant. And playlists, because the two albums are very musical, the playlist is not. This is Qobuz doing some historical stuff. They have a playlist called The Pioneers of Electronics. Now, I remind you that early electronic music, you probably wanted to put an asterisk after the word music because it's debatable quite how much fun this is. There's a lot of stuff on here which basically sounds like someone just hitting things with hammers. But without these people, without some of the sounds from the very late 60s onwards, we wouldn't be where we are today. So it's more of an interesting history lesson than it is something that you want to sing along to. But nevertheless, if you want to learn a little bit more about some of the people that got us to where we are now, it's a really, really good playlist. And I think it's worth maybe not 3 hours, 8 minutes of your time. You don't want to listen to all of it in real time, but it's certainly worth tinkering about with this if you are a Qobuz subscriber.